Look at the headlines. Thousands of six-figure engineers at Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are getting pink slips every month. Now look at the stock tickers. They're hitting all-time highs. Doesn't make sense, does it? The CEOs, Nadella, Jassy, Pichai, they all get on these earnings calls and use the same buzzword. Efficiency. They say they are streamlining operations. But that is a lie. A multi-billion-dollar lie designed to keep Wall Street calm. I read the filings so you don't have to. And what I found buried in the capital expenditure reports isn't efficiency. It's panic. Welcome to the structural reset. The old rules of tech investing are broken. It used to be that the company with the most smart humans won. You hire the talent, they build the product, you win. That game is over. We have entered a new phase where capital, raw brute force spending power, determines destiny. The new game isn't about who has the best coders. It's about who can afford to build the biggest synthetic brain. You think you know what expensive is? You don't. The CapEx, capital expenditure numbers for AI infrastructure in 2026 are absolutely insane. We are talking GDP of small nations insane. Amazon has announced $200 billion. Alphabet is eyeing $185 billion. Microsoft is on a $145 billion run rate. And Meta is dumping up to $135 billion. These aren't software margins anymore. This is heavy industry spending. They are building the digital equivalent of the interstate highway system in about 24 months. But wait, you say. Don't these companies have billions in the bank? Why fire? And that is the billion-dollar question. It's the difference between your savings account and your monthly paycheck. Yes, they have cash in the vault. But Wall Street hates it when you dip into savings to pay the electric bill. They want these companies to fund this massive AI build-out using current cash flow. The money coming in the door right now. If they touch the balance sheet hoard, the stock price tanks, they are trapped. So, to keep the cash flowing and buy those NVIDIA GPUs, they have to cut costs elsewhere. Enter the human element. Meet David. David is a 38-year-old middle manager at Amazon Web Services. He makes $250K a year. He's good at his job. But David is not an H100 GPU cluster. In this new environment, David is legacy infrastructure. To free up $200 billion in cash flow, thousands of Davids have to go. They are burning the office furniture to keep the new AI engine running. This is the highest stakes poker game in history. The buy-in is your entire workforce's stability. And here's the kicker. They can't fold. If Amazon stops spending on AI, Microsoft eats their lunch in the cloud. If Google stops, OpenAI makes search irrelevant. They are forced to keep betting, raising the stakes every quarter, terrified that the other guy has a better hand. If these bets don't pay off, and soon, we are looking at a dot-com level crash. So, as investors, how do we play this? You don't look at PE ratios. You look at survival mechanics. In this structural reset, 3 things matter. 1. Do you have a sticky product moat? 2. Do you own the distribution rails? And 3. Do you have the proprietary data to train the best models? If you don't have all 3, this CapEx spending is going to incinerate your company. Let's look at the players. Amazon. Most people see a store, but their real crown jewel is AWS, the invisible backbone of the internet. They are spending $200 billion to pivot that backbone into a massive AI factory. By adding deep AI capabilities like Bedrock and their own custom Trainium chips, they aren't just renting servers. They are selling intelligence as a service. Every startup and enterprise building AI is essentially paying Amazon an AI tax to use their rails. That's a high-margin benefit that rivals their retail moat. Then there's Microsoft. Satya Nadella is the master of distribution. He doesn't need the best AI model. He just needs good enough AI jammed into every copy of Windows and Office on the planet. He owns the B2B rails. Corporations are lazy. They won't switch platforms. They'll just pay Microsoft an extra $30 a month per user for Copilot. Microsoft's bet is safe because their customers are captive. But now we get to the weak link. Meta. Zuck is betting up to $135 billion. On what? Better ad targeting? A metaverse that nobody visits? Meta doesn't own an OS. They don't own a cloud platform. Their distribution is borrowed from Apple and Google. They are betting the farm on open source AI, hoping to commoditize the others, but it's unclear how that massive spend turns into massive profit. Right now, Meta looks like the guy at the poker table bluffing with a pair of twos. And finally, the strongest hand at the table. The one the market loves to hate right now, Google. Everyone thinks they're behind. Wrong. They have the ultimate advantage, data. Nobody has indexed more of human knowledge than Google. And remember, their engineers invented the T in GPT. They invented the transformer architecture that started this whole revolution. They were a sleeping giant, but they are awake now. Their distribution is the internet itself. I'm betting on the guys who wrote the original code. But listen to me closely. None of this infrastructure spend matters if the product sucks. You can have the smartest AI in the universe, but if the user experience is garbage, nobody will use it. Product determines price. The company that takes this raw AI horsepower and hides it behind a seamless, invisible, habit-forming user interface is the one that takes it all. We haven't seen that killer product yet. So what do? Stop reading old-school investing books. In this phase, you need to watch CapEx efficiency. For every $1 billion they spend on GPUs, how much new high-margin revenue does it generate? If that ratio starts to slip, get out. These stocks are currently priced for perfection in an imperfect world. Because here's the terrifying truth. These multi-hundred billion-dollar gambles have a time limit. Wall Street is patient, but not forever. If these companies incinerate $1 trillion of cash flow over the next 3 years, and all we get is slightly better chatbots and more targeted ads, the bubble will burst violently. And when it does, the layoffs we're seeing now will look like a dress rehearsal. The tech giants are sacrificing their own people to stay in the game. It's ruthless, it's desperate, and it's the only move they have. Now it's your turn. Who do you think is bluffing? Are you buying Meta's pivot, or are you sticking with the data king, Google? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want the truth about these companies without the corporate BS, smash that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.